Hello, everybody, and welcome to Depths of A&R, the coolest podcast in town. From least number of toe hairs to most number of toe hairs we have.
That feels like really personal information.
Yeah. I don't want to chime in on this.
All right, well, those are our introductions. Banner, I think you're doing the recap today.
Hi, on last week's episode of this podcast, Depths of A&R.
What is this podcast?
Welcome. You just got here 2 minutes ago.
Did we get ants the episode before, or
We got ants like 3 episodes ago now.
So then why am I doing the recap? Because I don't know what's going on then. We got into Roth Heverett after doing some unnecessary border patrol conversations in which they were like, why do you have dismembered fingers? And we were like, I don't know. I don't ask questions, I just deliver the cargo. And he was like, that's a really bad idea. And we were like, I'm going to speak to your manager. She's not going to... No, you're going to speak to your manager, and she's not going to be happy when she didn't get her dismembered fingers. And he is like, oh, crap. I should let you through, but I'll keep my eye on you. And so then they let us through. And voila, we're here.
Yeah, let's just... Sure, we'll go with that. So you guys are about
Was it
half...
dismembered fingers?
Yeah, it was a skeleton finger. You guys are about halfway to the city of a Lost Hand, which is where you need to go so that you can get through the big, long tunnel that will lead you to the Roth Heverett mainland, where you can finally access Bleakwatch, which is where you are delivering the package from all the way back from episode 1. So, if I'm remembering correctly, we left off, you guys had just beaten up a hobgoblin and are preparing for
We did that?
your next day of travel.
Why did we beat up a hobgoblin?
He was gonna attack
Oh, that's
you.
right.
Oh yeah, he ambushed us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we ambushed him. We tried and then failed
I
and beat the tar out of him.
Yeah. So, I believe you guys have a night of rest before your second and final day of travel to the city of Lost Hand. So, what we are going to do is go back into, again, if you want to check Discord, it is in the resources forum near the bottom, in the downtime activities post. And you can look there for your commitment activities as well as your casual activities. Remember, you can do 1 commitment activity per night, and those often will give you a bonus. And then you can do as many casual activities as you want per night. So, whoever wants to start, let me know what you are doing this night of rest and from your long travels.
I'm gonna be well, actually, let me blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing miscellaneous activities that are not listed on the list. I'm gonna be looking in my journal and making some of my own notes. Right, I'm journaling.
Okay.
Dear diary.
We fought a hobgoblin today.
I beat him up and took his stuff.
Are you journaling about anything in particular or taking notes on anything particular?
Well, yeah, I am, because ever since my super incredible, amazing, dedicated DM sent me some more information about my grandma's journal.
15
I'm
episodes
seeing-
into the campaign.
I'm seeing some inconsistencies here where my grandma talks about death is when someone is affected by the rot, they are like a death sentence, like you're gonna die. And also that she's never heard a rumor of the rot contaminating a sentient being. Which seems inconsistent to me because Gaius was just telling me the other day about how he had this horrible experience with the rot, but he's a sentient being who was affected by it, and he lived, so...
Do we know that he's sentient?
Do we know that he's alive? These are the
Just your
kinds of
imaginary
questions I am
friend.
asking in these notes.
These are all
If you
good
actually go back and
questions.
listen to the previous episodes of the podcast, I only ever interact with Nazcor. I'm imaginary.
That would be a wild plot twist.
Good, yes. So Core is asking some very good questions about the nature of the rot and looking over her grandmother's journal. Anything else
I
that you
just
want
have
to
a
do,
quick
Core? Yeah, what's
question.
up, Tanner?
Is the rot something that is like universally known about? Or is that going to be something that's only ever really encountered across like druidic circles? Is that like a common like, oh, the rot's coming and everybody's like, oh no? Or is it just very under the radar?
Kind of in the middle. It's not like nobody knows about it and it's this big secret druid thing. People have a general knowledge of it, but it's not so common that everybody's like, oh no, the rot is gonna tear up all of our homes. It's kind of like a plague that you hear about in faraway places, and everybody's kind of aware of it, but nobody's super knowledgeable about it. Good question though. Megger, are you doing anything else this evening?
I think that's all for
Okay.
now.
Okay.
I picked up a longbow from the hobgoblin, and I'm not used to using a longbow, so I'd like to just practice some shots with the longbow.
Okay. Sounds good. So you will do the train in combat commitment activity. And like I said last episode, you guys need to keep track of any bonuses from commitment activities. I'm not going to keep track of it. So Bowie, you will get advantage on one archery, damage, or attack roll, your choice, just for the following day. Anything else that you would like to do, Gaius?
I don't think so.
Okay. So Gaius is practicing with his bow. Core is reviewing her grandma's journal and scribbling some notes about her conversation with Gaius. Fink, Torin, what are you guys up to?
I think I
Fink's
will
up
just.
to.
Yeah, she's looking for freaking bugs.
Yeah.
Grody. I think I will just be maybe like just meditating since elves technically don't need sleep. They instead just enter a trance-like state, so I'll just essentially be sleeping or resting.
Okay. You don't want to do any of the commitment activities or anything? Totally up to you.
No.
Okay.
Clarifying question.
Yeah.
For the like longbow buff, whatever, temporary buff, do I have to announce when I'm using that before I roll or after? Like if I roll and I miss, can I be like, oh, actually, I'm going to use my bow to have advantage or whatever?
I'm going to treat it kind of like limited inspiration, where you can roll, and then if you fail and you want to re-roll it, you can use that one die.
Okay.
Think I already know what you're doing, but tell me about it.
I want to look for bugs.
So this is, I pulled a lot of these commitment activities from different posts online and kind of made up some of my own stuff here. I think it was your idea, Haley. It was your idea to have this D100 for finding different bugs each night. So she made up a chart. We reviewed it together, and she's got 20 different bugs that you can find on there.
Yeah.
And all of them have like a little different perk. Some of them are helpful in combat. Some of them are more utility. Some of them do some things which are nice for role play. They're not huge buffs by any means, but they're very lore appropriate. So
And it is a D100 because there is different percents for finding different
Yes.
bugs based on how useful or powerful they are. But again, even the most powerful ones are not that powerful.
right. So you are searching for bugs amidst the stone and the stone shrub that surrounds you. So roll me a D100 and let me know what you find.
While I'm rolling these, can somebody else say something real quick? I need to make sure my mic is working.
Banana hero.
She just had a face of pure horror because it was so loud in her ears.
I was casting a powerful enchantment.
Banana hero.
I
Yeah.
am rolling for bug.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 38. Oh, this is so good. I'm ready for my history lesson today.
What a great one to show off. Show off how cool this chart is.
Who is closest to me in camp right now? We've got Gaius is practicing his longbow, and
Torin sleeping, and then Cor is writing.
Torin is sleeping.
Yeah.
You chose to sleep as your downtime activity?
I feel like you're not gonna be doing something every single time.
Wow,
That, like,
just
we're down,
sleep,
like,
I guess.
No, I appreciate it because you could totally just try to use all the mechanics to get all the perks that you can. So
Yeah,
He's
and I am
just
probably the-
sleeping. I want to run over to Torin and shake him awake and be like, Torin.
But
I would like to hold up this cute little pill bug I found that looks kind of a little bit rocky on its surface. But I'm like, look at this bug I just found.
do you have any idea how many intrusive thoughts I have right now?
I don't know what that means, but are you thinking about this bug and how cool it looks?
No, that's okay. You have to understand what I just said is Banner talking, not Torin. Banner wants to squish that bug.
Torin needs a voice.
I know.
Torin needs a voice because I thought Torin just said that and now it just rolled.
Do you know how many intrusive thoughts I'm having right now, Fink?
Frank. Well,
Nope, that's not it.
that's really nice.
That cannot be it. Alright, well,
Does
That's
Torin respond?
Really nice. Just leave me alone.
Okay. I'm gonna go find somebody else to show me bug to then. Who's closer to me now?
Even will be Gaius, odd will be Cor. Gaius is closer to you.
I run up to Gaius probably from behind because I'm assuming he's not shooting in the direction of camp. But I guess you can never really know.
Try shooting away. That would make sense.
Okay. Gaius!
Something wrong?
I found a bug!
That's nice, I suppose. Where did you find it?
I found it in the dirt over there.
Well, I'm glad you have another one for your collection.
Thanks. It's cute. Do you like it?
What does the bug look like?
It's
a
a little.
roly-poly.
Yeah, it's a roly-poly, like a little pill bug, but he kind of looks a little like rocky, craggy, kind of like camouflage.
Okay, I'll look at it. I don't really care, but I'll feign interest to some degree. Very nice. Do you know what kind of bug it is?
Well, I need to kind of. She should. No, she doesn't have a book about bugs. That sounds nerdy and lame. No, she sniffs the bug and
Yeah,
says,
that's way more. That's not nerdy and lame.
Let me check.
Now, I wouldn't have a book, but I will go ahead and sniff this bug.
Well, I think I might know what it is, but I need to observe it a little more just to be sure. But I'll be sure to come back and tell you when I do.
No rush. We have plenty of time on the road.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have fun shooting your arrows, guys. Bye.
Mechanically, this is a stoneback pill bug, and Fink can hold it against a stone surface and concentrate for 1 minute. And if she does that, the pill bug will communicate about how old the rock she's holding it up to is and the composition of the stonework. And then the bug goes away.
How does it do that? Magic.
Magic. So will this one be useful this episode? We'll see.
You guys are so
Oh, wait, it's
excited
not
to
just
learn.
right now. She hangs onto this.
She keeps bugs in her hair, bro.
So is she able to like stockpile these?
They only last for one day.
Yeah, nope. They go away next day. So
So they die the next.
no,
God.
they wander
They're
off.
mercenary.
She leaves a trail of bodies, of bugs, wherever she goes. All right, so you all sleep the night away. It's amazing and wonderful, and you all feel fantastic. We're going to do the same as we did last time in terms of travel. So you're all going to roll me survival. None of your rolls matter except for cores unless you get a crit or a crit failure.
Oh, that's not a crit fail.
17 for me.
17? Okay.
Mhm.
And Torin? Okay.
14. 1-4.
1-4. All right. So 17 was cores, and we will roll with that. So, unlike yesterday, you guys have a smooth day of traveling. You don't come across any hiccups along the way. Your aunt, Lance Jr., and the aunt who shall not be named are carrying along good. Everything's going just fine. And finally, off in the distance, you hear the city of Lost Hand before you see it. The faint gonging of a bell in the distance reverberating off the rock beneath you. After a few chimes, the sounds cease. Is there anything that you would like to do after hearing this bell?
What's the vibe on bells in ANR? Is that like a normal way of just like how it is in our world of like, oh, it's 12 o'clock, there's some bells.
Roll me a history check. Torin, I'll have you roll history as well.
Who?
Torin.
Does pink sound like Torin to you?
I couldn't hear what he said.
You're in the room with him.
Listen.
6.
14.
Okay, so guys, you've not heard this bell before. Torin, you haven't heard it before either, but you are aware that sometimes, especially not militarized, but areas that are near important passageways, like the tunnel that you guys are trying to go through, will often have such bells as ways of warning. You know specifically you've traveled through Lost Hand before. You've traveled through this tunnel that you're about to go through because you've been in Castrum before, which is over to the east. So you know that Lost Hand will sometimes use this during times of conflict, or if they want to be more on guard, to tell when travelers are getting closer. So it would seem that potentially somebody has spotted you guys coming towards the city and is alerting the city that travelers are incoming.
So they don't get a whole lot of traffic if they have a bell for every single time someone comes through. Otherwise, they'd just be ringing all day long.
Would you like to do anything with that information, Torin?
No, I don't feel the need to tell anybody that.
Okay. Do you guys stop when you hear the bells, or do you keep going forward?
Are they spooky sounding bells?
They're just regular sounding bells.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, the city is playing music for us. Onward, Lance Jr.
All right. You guys continue towards the city, and it takes a few more minutes of walking or riding before the grand city comes into view. Lost Hand is far larger than any city you've encountered during this journey, a fact aided by the 30-foot-high plateau at the city's base. The wall of rock has unnaturally sheer sides, seemingly scrubbed clean of any ledges or footholds. Multiple towers pierce the subterranean air, shrouded in ivy. Many flecks of light hang suspended around several of the towers, bathing them in a warm glow, and you spot 3 larger flecks among them. You spot the last moments of movement from what appears to be some sort of drawbridge before it comes to a stop, standing vertical at the plateau's edge. The city itself is encircled by a dozen or so guard towers, upon each of which is a large bell, along with several armored guardsmen with longbows on their backs and spyglasses on their belts. Atop the tower nearest you, several elven guardsmen are looking in your direction, appearing interested, though not alarmed. Short successions of bell chimes are struck at intervals as you approach, with each succession one note shorter than the last, until finally you arrive just outside the elevated city of Lost Hand, the plateau stretching far above you. One final note is struck on the bell. A clear, firm male voice calls out loudly next to the raised drawbridge. "State your business." The voice trails off. You hear faint traces of the guard's voice along with a female voice going back and forth. The guards on the nearby watchtower glance curiously towards the direction of the voices, seemingly surprised by whatever the pair is discussing. After a few moments, the guard calls out once more. "Let down the bridge!" For a moment, nothing happens. The faces of the guards on the tower twist from curiosity to confusion. Anger clouding his tone, the speaker cries once more, "I said let down the bridge, blast it!" After another moment of silence, this time briefer, the sound of grating chains bellows out as the bridge lowers from its vertical position atop the plateau. The grating stops as the bridge comes to rest a few yards in front of you, permitting crossing up into Lost Hand. The shocked guards on the tower watch as a lone figure descends from the top of the bridge, an elven woman dressed in a simple yet elegant navy blue dress, her black hair twisted neatly into a braid behind her. The woman curtsies. "Welcome, travelers." She looks up with a powerful, piercing, perceptive smile. "The city of Lost Hand welcomes you. By most, I am called the Mage of Many Faces. But you," she pauses, clear blue eyes drifting over each of you before locking onto Torin, "may call me Navenna."
Oh, immediately. Oh gosh, I don't do anything. I'm just gonna stand there slack-jawed.
I'm gonna
What's
wait
the
for someone who's
person's-
smarter than me to say something.
What's the person's name? Is it this town that we're supposed to bring like the finger to? Was that this
Yeah.
town?
We need
What's
to bring
the
it to
person?
Hamade.
Okay, that's not this guy.
I'm just gonna look at Torin, and then back at the lady because I would recognize this name. And I'll say, "You said you were a mage. Are you connected to the Mage Academy? We need to speak to Hamade."
She answers you, but her vision stays locked on Torin, and she says, "The Mage Academy, I am connected to it, I suppose you would say. You need to talk to Hamade.
Yes.
What do you need Hamade for? Please, come in." She welcomes you with her arms.
I will go with her wherever she's going.
Okay. Do the rest of you follow?
I don't know if everybody has like dismounted the ants and is like walking now. I'm definitely still on the ant though.
Okay. You're riding the ant up into the city. Torin, what are you doing?
I think it will take me some time before I start following behind. So like I'll follow, but I will be a ways back.
Okay. All right. So you all start following Torin at a distance. Navenna walks in front of the group a few steps and says, "What business do you have with Hamade?"
We have a delivery for her from Chairman Raylan from Newman's.
"A delivery from Chairman Raylan, you say? And what might this delivery be?" She smiles at you.
I'll kind of look at Gaius to get a read on whether it's okay for me to say. And Gaius has the finger, right?
I think so. Pretty sure.
I think so, yeah.
Where is my inventory? There it is. Yeah, I do. With all due respect, ma'am, that's the business between a runner and the client.
Oh, pish posh, you don't have to follow such rules here with me. I suppose you could call me a friend of Hamade. Please, what is this delivery about?
Uh, the runner's rules apply regardless of whether or not they're being enforced by who we happen to be speaking to. And I don't distrust you when you say that you're a friend of Hamade, but it would be bad form, of course, if we just gave out information to someone, with such a simple claim.
She makes eye contact with you briefly and kind of shrugs. She says, so be it. I suppose it's your business. But you, Torin, she turns her attention and kind of snaps her head back to you. Long time no see.
Did Torley make it out? Did anyone else make it out?
She pauses for a moment and says, "Oh my, jumping straight to the chase, aren't we? I'm not aware of any other survivors, Torin, not from our little group. But here we are now, you and I, still alive after all this time. Me, well beyond my years. You, still quite young for an elf, I suppose."
When she says that, like, she doesn't know if anybody else made it out, my face will visibly fall.
She
I look visibly sadder.
She takes notice of that and says, What is there to be sad about, Torin? This was 300 plus years ago. Surely you've moved on from our little circus routine."
Can't forget what I did.
She smiles at you. She says, "You did the wise thing and got out of a dangerous spot."
I left everyone else behind.
Her vision kinds of... her face changes to be a little bit darker for a moment. She says, Such rough topics for just seeing each other after centuries, Torin. Surely there's something else that we can discuss than our past circus routine and the tragedies there within. Torin, I want you to roll me a history check.
History check. That would be a 22.
Ooh, okay, all right. You are keenly aware that Navenna should be dead. She is a changeling. Changelings typically live about 100 to 200 years. The events of the circus happened over 300 years ago.
How are you even still alive, Navenna?
She laughs. "How am I alive? You know of some of my powers, Tor, and I never made a secret of my necromancy. I've simply found more appropriate and useful ways to use it, and a long life is one of those benefits."
When she says necromancy, I'm gonna make a visible ick face before I control my face.
Okay, I'm gonna roll perception to see if she notices that. She does notice that. She looks at you and says, "What, something against necromancy?"
I'm a druid, ma'am.
Druid. We had lots of different people in the circus, and no one seemed to mind my necromancy, although I suppose most didn't know it was necromancy to begin with. There's nothing wrong with necromancy, my dear. It's simply another tool at a mage's disposal, that's all.
There's nothing wrong with
Is necromancy frowned upon, generally, or is this, kind of a normal outlook on necromancy?
I won't make you roll for that. Generally, it's pretty traditional necromancy that most people find it taboo and not something that you want to get engaged with.
I see. Okay.
At least in parts that you're from. What were you saying, Cor?
I said there's nothing wrong with a natural death either.
Oh, certainly, but it's not my preference. So I use my resources at my disposal to keep my life long and joyful. And now she gestures to the city of Lost Hand in front of her. I've become something of a celebrity here with my powers and my willingness to go the extra mile. Too many mages are restricted by the rules that they follow, the restrictions they hold themselves to. I am not one of those mages. I am powerful, and I am aware of what my magic can do for me. Perhaps you should be the same, my dear friend.
Did I know how old Navenna was when she was in the circus?
Yeah, she was around 40, 50.
Okay, so she was. It wasn't like she had already been using necromancy. Got it.
She had been using necromancy for her puppeteering acts. So she would, make things move, like little skeletons move, and people thought they were props, and she was using magic for it. But they were actual skeletons, and she was using necromancy. And you knew about that. She wasn't hiding that.
Yes. Is she wearing any form of familiar face, or is this a face that is unknown to me?
This is one that she would often adopt when you saw her during the circus.
I'm going to again fall silent.
Okay. She just smiles again at all of you and says, "Come now, let's talk of more exciting things. You said you have something for Hamade. You don't want to talk about what it is. I suppose that's up to you. Please, allow me to tour you through the city." Okay, I'll do it.
Look around, get a vibe check.
She says, again, I can take you to Hamade if you'd like. I don't know that she'll... Whatever. If you need to go to the Mage Academy, I'll take you to the Mage Academy. That's where I'm staying anyways. Allow me to show you the city along the way. She takes you guys through parts of the city of Lost Hand. Again, this is bigger than any of the towns or cities that you've been to, at least in this campaign, yet. And she shows off the various watchtowers in the city, specifically the ones on the outer edges of this 30-foot plateau. She talks about the bells and the warning systems that they use. She shows you the large housing district of the city. She shows you a few different barracks where different soldiers are stationed, and talks about some sort of ongoing conflict with Castrum and Rothhevret, where they've been experiencing some raids and things like that they want to be watching out for. And then at last, she also points out the general direction of the tunnel that you guys are looking for. And she says, now over there is the entrance to the Path of Broken Bones. Torin, you know this is the name of the long tunnel that stretches into the Rothhevret mainland. She says, it's guarded by an old orc man named Markev. He prevents any wanderers from going in there, especially right now with all the conflict going on. And I hear we're expecting some sort of imminent attack from those wonderful undead creatures from the west. It's high security right now. But anyway, come this way. And at last you arrive at a set of ivy-covered towers. The suspended lights in the air around them have the width of a small round shield and pulse slowly, their glow casting light and shadow onto the towers of the Mage Academy. The academy is shaped like a cross, with a large gated entrance at one end and a tower at every other extreme. Above each tower is an orb of light, perhaps 4 or 5 times larger than the ones scattered through the air around the tower's lengths. A nonsensical design if I ever saw one, Navenna comments and points to the western tower. On this side, the young mages practice their spells and incantations and do most of their studying. They've got rooms for potion brewing, scribing, sparring, researching, everything you could ever want. And this side, she pivots, swinging her pointing finger to the eastern tower, is for prayers to the most holy, most wonderful, most intelligent Taidami aspect of wisdom and smarts and all things nice. She scoffs. Hamade never stops talking about her. The academy is nice and all, but they could have had double the practical use if they hadn't used the whole wing to a silent goddess. Regardless, the far tower, she again moves her outstretched arm, is Hamade's study. Let's go. They'll let you in while I'm with you. Navenna motions the four of you forwards towards the gated entrance of the academy. She pauses a moment, allowing Fink, Gaius, and Kor to pass before looping her arm through Torin's and adopting his stride. Torin, the skin of Navenna's arm feels deathly cold, sending a shiver through your body. Though you've only just learned she's alive, Navenna treats you with a confident and comfortable warmth, the likes of which you've not experienced since you last spoke with your fiancée, Fira, over 3 centuries ago. Navenna catches your eye and flashes a wide, bright smile. Torin, Torin, Torin. We have so much to catch up on. Being a runner suits you, you know. We were always on the move with Amnar Isfal, weren't we? And I suppose being a runner probably pays better than the old circus did, minus the room and board. How have you been?
Yeah. I've been better.
You've been better? Something wrong?
No, I thought I'd finally buried the bodies, and I'm sorry. Just seeing you's it's opened up an old wound I thought was gone.
She smiles at you. Oh, Torin, the bodies are long buried. It's been ages, lifetimes for most creatures.
But not for me. That's the problem.
Roll me insight.
It's a 19.
All right. Her face very briefly flashes an expression of maybe anger, maybe coldness. She looks visibly upset, but it only lasts for a split second, and then her face returns back to usual. She says, "Well, I'm sure there's something that we can do about that to help you move on from this tragedy from so long ago. Haven't you experienced life and found things outside of that old circus?"
Don't you miss them still? Doesn't it still hurt?
She pauses for a moment. It was fun while it lasted, Torin, but that time is far, far gone, and now I have new projects and new people to worry about and new things that I'm doing. I don't have time to be caught up in the past like that.
I mean, I guess it was all I knew. I can't just move on. It's just not how it works.
Haven't you gotten into the running? You said you are runners, yes? Hasn't that given you a different life from what once was?
Yeah, and here you are, and you've caught back up with me, despite all my running. And I'm gonna flash just a really weak grin.
She returns it times 10 and says, "Indeed, you have, and here I am. And if there's anything that I can do for you or your friends here, please let me know." What? She kind of leans in a little closer to your ear. She says, "What is this? What is this travel business about? What business do you have here with Hamade, anyways?"
It's just a simple delivery, Navenna. Nothing more.
She elbows you a little bit. She's like, "Come on, Torin, you know me. I'm just curious is all. You've come a long way. I'm just curious what you're doing with the headmistress of the Mage Academy is all. Sounds like a big job."
It's nothing too big. It's just, like I said, a delivery. I do have to agree with Gaius that there is still a code that we've got to uphold, even for you, Navenna.
She sighs kind of dramatically and rolls her eyes. She says, "Listen, Torin." And she continues kind of whispering closer to you so the rest of the party doesn't hear. She says, You know me. You know my powers. there's something. One of you has something that is powerful. It's potent. I can feel it. I can sense it, and I'm so curious. It must be some magical item with some very interesting properties. That's why I ask. I don't mean to pry. It's just when you've studied magic and necromancy as long as I have, you get a sense for these things, and I've not felt something like that. She points in the direction of your party members in front of you for quite some time. What are you doing?
Could I roll like an insight to see if like maybe her intentions are pure, if she's purely just curious, or if she's like trying to get something more out of it?
Sure. Yeah, roll me insight.
This is another 19.
Dang. All right.
I think I can answer this one. Her intentions are not pure.
I know her intentions aren't pure. I just need to know if Torin does.
What you know. Okay, let me start here. What you know of Navenna and who you know her to be from all that time ago. You remember very keenly the events of the circus and the people that you were with. Even after hundreds of years, you still remember those people. Navenna, she seems like a more extreme version of who you knew her to be. She wasn't usually quite this flamboyant, quite so confident. She wouldn't usually do things like, coming and grabbing your arm, walking alongside you, that you guys didn't have that close of a relationship. So she seems a little bit more confident than usual. In terms of her questioning...
Just like unnervingly confident for what I know her to be, or what I knew her to be?
What do you mean by that?
Make me uncomfortable, or is this just like growth of her as a person, or does this seem kind of like this is weird for you?
I mean, that's partly for you to decide as your character, but it's definitely more than you're used to, especially in the past 300 years from not having anywhere near that type of contact with anybody. She's very upfront. She's very in your face, and she wasn't quite like that when you knew her. In terms of her questions, you can tell she's very genuinely very interested in whatever you're carrying. You know, even from back in the circus when you knew her before, that she was very interested in magic and learning more and gaining knowledge and growing in power. So it's not necessarily surprising to you that she's very, very interested in whatever this magical object might be. What specifically she wants or what she intends to do is unclear, but she's very interested.
Gosh, this is hard. This is all the alarms are going off in my head, but the question is, are they going off in his? I think he's gonna double down on the rules. Like I said, Navenna, there is a level of confidentiality that comes with being a runner. If you want to know, I'm sure that the headmistress would have no issue disclosing that information with you.
She kind of wriggles.
I'm gonna
go ahead.
Unhook my arm from hers and kind of take a step away.
Okay, you don't have to roll insight. Her expression again visibly goes back to darker or colder, this time lasting for a second or two before her face flashes back to regular. She says, Torin, I see there's been some distance between us over the past few centuries. I suppose that makes sense. Your secrets are your own, of course, and I'm happy to help however I can. As for Hamade, her tone shifts a bit. We're not exactly best of friends, Torin. She does allow me to stay in the Mage Academy, and quite honestly, I think many of the mages think I do a better job than she ever could. But we'll see. You go talk to Hamada, you do what you need to do, and then perhaps we can chat again later. Anything you want to...
I would like that, yeah.
She nods at you. And as the five of you near the academy's gates, Navenna steps forward to the front of the group, spreading her arms in a wide gesture. The Mage of Many Faces returns. Open up for my friends and I, please. After a brief pause, a low rumbling noise emerges from the academy as the metal gate slowly rises, receding into a gap in the bricks of the wall above. Navenna grins back at you and saunters into the academy. As you enter behind her, you see two robed elves on either side of the gate's interior, both of whom bow to the changeling. As the last of you enters through the gates, the elves straighten. With a wave of their hands and muttered words, the gate slowly descends once more. As it rumbles and grinds to a halt, Navenna smiles and gestures ahead to the glorious halls where many mages roam and books fly through the air, and says, "Welcome, runners, to the Mage Academy." And that is where we will stop for today. I know it was a bit shorter.
I have a question,
Go
retrospectively.
for it. Yeah.
While we were walking, I don't have a spell for this, so it's okay if this isn't something I can do, because I think there is a spell and I don't have it. Can I get a vibe of, like, is this woman's heart beating, or is she just a sentient dead body? Like, is she dead, or is she keeping herself alive?
You're trying to figure this out how?
I didn't do this because it would have been kind of, I feel like Torin would have killed me. But at some point, I still hope to. This is just a fun tidbit. This isn't how I'm deducing it. But I want to try and see if decompose works on her. Just like a little bit. Just like, you reach out and touch the corpse of a creature. So if she's a corpse, it'll work on her. And if she's alive, then it won't. But I didn't do that. So,
let me decompose your friend real quick.
I mean, there's no way for me to, like, hear her heartbeat, and I didn't, like, touch her or anything, so I wouldn't know that her
sure there is.
So just a vibe reading.
You just go up and
vibes.
you give her a big old hug, and you just listen to her heart for a minute and see if it's beating.
Yeah. So just vibes for right now.
While you're giving her a hug, just decompose her a little bit, just to be safe.
All right.
Otherwise, it's okay. I can wait until I have the chance to
decompose her.
Strike.
Also,
a little bit.
Give me a quick
one mushroom
crash course on what she said about the silent goddess or whatever that was, because I kind of zoned out for that part.
Hey, Dami! Aspect of wisdom. She thinks it's stupid.
Yeah, so that's the life goddess, and people worship many aspects of her. Or no. Heish is the life goddess.
Yep.
Yeah. Atheros is the other dude. Yeah. Not really death per se, but all inanimate.
You just want to hear what she said again?
That's fine. I got the general course of what I need to hear.
Okay.
Torin might be considering taking a look-see into that wing.
A look-see.
Was Torin ever very religious?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a question better left to the episodes, but...
As far as you know, no.
Yeah, he seems a little irreverent. But the cleric over here has not been very good at doing cleric things, so don't take my word for it.
Oh, you probably have a spell, don't you, Haley?
Oh, for dead bodies?
Well, I'm dead or something.
Yeah, sorry. I can turn undead. Sorry, I wasn't looking at my spell list to see how I could.
Undead and
oh wait, is that like
run away from you?
Yeah.
Okay, turn undead is
undead.
Turn undead is the stupidest phrased spell ever. It does not mean you turn into an undead. It means you make undead people turn away from you.
Oh.
Otherwise,
makes
if you were
sense.
wanting her to be undead and you were like upset that she wasn't, we could change that, but that is not how that spell works. Sorry, I wasn't checking my spell list to find ways to decompose this new person we just met.
No, I don't want to decompose her. I just want to see if it works, because if
I
it works, then
just-
she's dead, and I'm
I
going to
just
be a
wanna
forever
decompose
reader.
her a
I
little.
just want to
I
decompose
know.
like a little section.
Bit, guys, like just a tiny, like just a little bit of moss on her finger,
like
you
a
know.
She probably won't even
She would just think
notice.
she had like a bacterial infection or like a fungal infection or something. She'd be fine.
Oh man, I forgot my skin routine today.
Oh, except for her body's just
Yeah,
falling
sorry,
apart.
my
God,
my
I have to
athlete's foot
change my
really
skin
needs
again.
taken care of.
Destroy her appendix.
Destroy her appendix. How is she gonna do that? Just casually like rip a hole in her chest, touch the appendix, and be like decompose.
Oh no, I don't know if it's a touch spell.
It is a touch
Pretty
spell.
sure we just determined it was a touch spell.
Oh, I haven't done the outro yet. I've just been recording. Anywho, thanks y'all for listening. The one person who listens to this podcast, you're pretty cool. And also, hey, you should probably get up. You've been sitting on your couch all day. We're worried about you.
Wow.
Wait,
So
I didn't-
targeted.
I didn't mean that to the one person who actually listens to our
Either
podcast.
that,
You're really
or
cool.
you're working right now, and I need you to do a better job at work.
Yeah, or maybe you're on your toilet treating this like a YouTube video. You should probably get up. My wife says you can get hemorrhoids from doing that. Anywho, thank you for listening. I'm really excited for the next few episodes. I intentionally made this campaign, and there's a lot of things that I'm learning through this process of being a DM and story writing and pacing and balancing everything. And man, I have still a lot left to learn. But I intentionally started this campaign out pretty slow, as you guys aren't like these big adventures going on these really grand quests early on. But I'm really excited for the next few episodes because we are starting to up the ante a little bit. We're getting into some bigger
Ants.
locations.
I love bugs.
The up the ante,
Shut
not
up.
the ante.
There's no S in that word.
There is an Ayanara. So anyway, the stakes are rising. Things are getting a little more interesting. So I'm super excited.
You should cook them for a little longer.
You should cook those ants a little bit more.
The steaks.
The steak. Well, you put the ants on the steaks, and that's how you cook them. You
Ants
guys
on the
need to
log.
name your ant, by the way.
I have a name and nobody's asked.
Marie Antoinette.
I love it.
That's just a bad ant pun.
You guys have downtime now at night, so do stuff. Name your ant. Let everybody.
Yeah,
let the
don't
world
just
know.
sleep.
Don't just sleep. Well, do if it suits. Anyway.
It's called role play.
All right. Well, thanks everybody again. From least amount of toe hair to most amount of toe hair. I'm Nerdy Birdie /J, and we also have.
There's no way you have the least amount of toe hair.
Well, you better hurry and say your name then.
Personal question.
Okay, they all have
Alert.
tons of toe hair. They're really sensitive about it, so we'll just skip that. Anyway.
Also, if you don't know what hemorrhoids is, ask your parents.
Look it up.
Oh,
Pictures.
don't look it up. Just ask your parents.
Okay, thanks. Goodbye.